Hey guys, and welcome back to Pixel Cherry Ninja's channel. It's the weekend, which means only one thing. It's time for that weekly news roundup. As always, we will begin with FPGA gaming news, then MiSTer, the Analogue Pocket, and well, any other FPGA gaming news out there that's worth reporting. After that, we'll move over to some random and retro gaming. Timestamps have been made available, so use those to navigate your way around the video. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, then a subscription and a like is always super duper appreciated, as is turning on those notification bells. If you wish to support the channel further, you can become a channel member or check out my Patreon. Before we move in, guys, let's check out the sponsor of the weekly news show, Zaparoo, an absolutely awesome NFC project that just keeps getting better. Great community, great work in pretty much anything via NFC. And finally, guys, don't forget to check out London's best arcade, Free Play City. Anyway, let's get on with this. So let's begin with this. Have you heard of the system PGM or IGS Polygame Master? A lot of people refer to it as the Taiwanese Neo Geo. This is a banging system with banging games. The game that you're seeing on screen now, I've chosen one. This is Dodonpachi 2 B-Storm. And guess what? There's another 2 Dodonpachi games on this system too. As well as that, there's a game called Demon Front, which is a run and gun. There's a lot of games. I am not going to name them all, but there's a whole bunch of cave shmups on here. There's some brawlers on here like Knights of Valor, or the one that I like called Gladiator. I mean, they're all good, but Gladiator is exceptionally good. As well as that, you've got games like Oriental Legend, which is another brawler. There's some fighters on this too. The one that I particularly like is a game called Martial Masters. Very, very darn good. The good news is, when I say work has begun on a MiSTerFPGA core, there's a GitHub there, there's a repository there, and there is a core available, but you have to compile it yourself. Now, I got the core compiled by a friend of mine, also a different channel, Nico Clem, tried it, and there is one MRA available, which is for the game Demon Front, which is a run and gun like Metal Slug, but nothing booted. It booted into a black screen. I certainly hope that progress is made on this, because this is a very, very exciting and interesting system. I mean, just look at that. That's me playing B-Storm on MAME using the CoinOp project's front end, and it is absolutely fabulous. And to get this preserved in FPGA will be absolutely banging. Let me just bring up the GitHub page, and there you go. You can see it over here. The developer is called Sudi Dranza. Hopefully I got that name right, and they are actively working on this. So this is going to be amazing. Really, really cannot wait for this to develop into something massive system, lots and lots of games. If you want to know more about the system and what games are available for it, I do have a dedicated video on the channel. Have a look at like my last couple of videos. You will find it and you will be amazed. If you don't know about this system, well, you better get to know. So do you guys remember the TAITO System SJ and Anton Gale gave us the excellent core, not just for the MiSTerFPGA, but also for the Analogue Pocket. But in case we are talking about the MiSTer. So Anton here says, I've been messing around with AI Claude to see if it could produce a Verilog implementation of the 68705 MCU found in the TAITO SJ PCB. It isn't perfect, but I was very impressed with the output. The core is now able to run Frontline and the non-bootleg version of Elevator Action. However, I still have some debugging to do before release. So if you remember, the Elevator Action on this core was a bootleg version, so now the original version. So this game here, Frontline, it's a charming little system. I especially like, was it Jungle King in there? Fantastic game. And let's have a look at this follow-up tweet. Okay, so support for C Fighter Poseidon has been added to the TAITO System SJ MiSTerFPGA core. Expect a release shortly. I do like this core. I like the bright colors of the games, so something to look forward to. So yeah, Anton Gale, man, working on his TAITO SJ core to support some titles that weren't supported before. So originally they usually come out for the MiSTer, and hopefully we will get an Analogue Pocket core as well, but Anton here is talking about the MiSTerFPGA. We have a brand new arcade core for the MiSTerFPGA. It's an oldie, but to some it's a goldie. 1982 Konami. It's known as Tutankham. I know I butchered the name. You guys told me how to say it properly in my video, but I have forgotten, and I'm filming the weekly news video. It looks interesting. Maze game, shoot stuff, be quick or die. Sounds very, very interesting. Looks interesting too. And this is a game that many people actually enjoyed in the arcade. But I'm telling you now, it is tough. It has 3 buttons, right? One fires left, the other fires right. You can't fire up or down, and one is just a bomb that you fire. So this, when I did the video, was a manual release which you had to go over to the GitHub to get. So big shout out to the new developer Rodimus FVC. But guess what, the MiSTer community have made it. So this is part of the MiSTer development now, and you can grab this via Update Tool. I added mine manually, but do check it out. When you run your updater, you should actually grab this game. So go check it out, it's fun. And if you're from this era of gaming, then share some information. Give us a little story of what the arcade scene was like. This one here is a reminder, Hervieux is still working on CPS3. Now I know we haven't had a release from Hervieux or a new release for some time, but we know he's working on CPS3 and it's a big system and there are some challenges that the team are facing. But what was interesting was over on X, Hervieux did a post talking about CPS1 and CPS2, and Flavio down here says CPS2 is great, absolutely it is, but the community is really hungry for CPS3 core that you mentioned. Hope the development is going smoother than Capcom's board surplus back in the 90s. And Hervieux responds, I am working on it, but it will take time to see it. It's a big development. So guys, just a reminder, Hervieux and his team are working on CPS3, and honestly, I cannot wait for it to get released. But hey, it looks like we are going to have to wait. It is quite the challenge. In this section, let's talk about the SuperStation One. More and more people are getting their SuperStation Ones, and like over here, they are showing them off. So over here, we got Dustin Harrow, who's taken it apart and is showing us the PCB with Taki's signature on there. As well as that, this was really cool from Jonathan. And I also got, while we look at Jonathan's, well, Jonathan sent me an email with the wallpapers that were already on the SuperStation One when he got it, but another person called Yakub actually sent me an email saying that they're from New York, and they sent me pictures of the SuperStation One saying that they got it. But these are some of the wallpapers that you are getting with the device, and for the whole part they look quite good. I definitely like them. Let's have a look at the next one here, and again, do like in the four corners we have got the different SuperStation Ones. It's like, oh, it's going to take me to the next one. Excellent. Okay, so now this one here, and again, okay, another one here. What we got here, are we looking at the same ones? I thought there was more. Okay, so there you go. Like, we've got different wallpapers there with the SuperStation One. So if you're getting one now, likely this will be on there. It looks pretty cool, right? Makes it feel like a unique device. This was really cool from Taki. Exploded view. This seems like too many screws in. Let's have a look at that. Again, always like this stuff. You know, when you had those images of consoles and how they were made and they separated them, showed you like the different layers. Absolutely fantastic. Not too many layers here, but definitely a lot of screws. SuperStation One, more and more people are getting them, and I should be getting my one soon, hopefully within the next week, so I can put it to the test, and we can do some live streams. We can test some stuff out on the SuperStation One. Guys, this is freaking big news. So Update Tool version 2.5 is out, and everyone uses Update Tool. It's the thing that makes your MiSTer so freaking easy, and the Epsilon is the person behind it. So definitely consider supporting them over on Patreon. So Update Tool 2.5 now CRT compatible, and that's the biggest thing. There's a lot of stuff in here that Jose does, but man, oh man, CRT compatibility. And what looks amazing, right? Because whenever I run Update Tool and I'm using like my PVM, I have to revert to a digital screen to see what I'm doing. There is a way around it, but there's a bit of faff involved. Then one thing that Update Tool negates is faff. There is no faff. And look at this, it looks beautiful on a CRT screen. You can run it now, it just works. It just means if you have your MiSTer connected to a analog display, you don't need to faff around sticking it to a HDMI display. If that's how you update it, you can just run it all through that single setup. Absolutely amazing work. There's more updates. This guy is always making Update Tool faster, better, stronger. But this is freaking amazing now on a CRT. So now let's see what the guys at Heber have been up to. Now the MiSTer Multi-System 2 has been very popular, and they have provided us with a February 2026 update. A big shout out to my buddy German user who actually pinged me and dropped me a message saying, hey Pixel, you might want to cover this. Absolutely right, I do. Now I'm not going to go into great detail onto this because I have done a separate dedicated video last night. Do check that out. But it looks like they have already sold, shipped 14,500 MiSTer Multi-System 2s. Now that's a combo of the all digital and the analog. I would imagine they've sold more analog units than digital only, just kind of makes sense. But yeah, it looks like they have got pre-orders going all the way up until 17,500 units. Guys, that's popular. You wouldn't sell that many if it wasn't something that people liked, right? Or sorry, 18,500, my bad, 18,500. I just saw that level 15 down there. What's interesting down here as well is the PC Engine control dock. So this essentially is a multi-tap that works via snack. So PC Engine, if you remember, I had one, only had one port. That's the biggest thing I can say that sucked about the PC Engine. It wasn't for a long time that I was able to save up, source and get myself a multi-tap and then play 2 players on that, right? Because there's a lot of good 2-player games. So that's really, really cool. You can play multiplayer via snack with your PC Engine controllers. But what's really interesting is lots and lots of different PC Engine controllers. Here you go. You can see a whole bunch there, including a freaking mouse. And you've got a 6-button Street Fighter controller there. Again, that's the inside of that dock. Interesting here, coming soon, hopefully sooner rather than later, is the cartridge adapter for the MiSTer Multi-System 2. I'm not sure if this works with the MiSTer Multi-System 1. It might only be for the Multi-System 2. Some of this stuff is backwards compatible. Now, currently, this is supposed to work on Game Boy DMG or Game Boy Color as well as Game Boy Advance, but for now they're going to need to do more work on Game Boy Advance. When it comes ready out of the box, it should be Game Boy and Game Boy Color. Now, this is open source and they are saying that if anyone wants to design adapters for different devices, then go ahead and do that. It's all possible. So that's something really interesting. Where Taki's gone and began with optical media, these guys are doing the cartridge side. So interesting, great space to be in FPGA gaming. Okay, there you go again, looking very, very nice. And then the MiSTer Multi-System 2 Arcade. And finally, they have a production version of this. And they've given it a really, really nice case. Something to slot in your arcade machine. Something that just integrates easily into a jammer setup, into your arcade machine. So some really, really good stuff this week or this month from Hervieux, and it looks like they keep making stuff. They're very, very productive would be the right way to go about it. So they literally are working their butts off, and it looks like it's paying off. There's a lot of systems on the MiSTer and some that I really should cover a little bit more. I definitely need to do a C64 like live stream or video, but over here we've got the C128. Now that core got updated via update tool, so run update tool and grab the latest version. You can see some of the changes there. The first one being cartridge added, what's that, Comal 128, and the rest of the changes there. And further down, guys, we have got PCXT. That core has been updated as well. Remember, on the MiSTerFPGA.org, the forums, there's an update and changelog. Everything that is shown in here will be available via update tool. So as soon as something goes up there, it shows up here, or vice versa, right? So here we go, PCXT, add CRTC, VSync, HSync with OSD controls. So I've heard about this frog somewhere, I think out in the Amazon. Apparently you lick it and you get buzzing. Well, this retro frog, you don't want to lick him because you probably will not get buzzing. I'm talking about Todd Gill. So over here, work in progress, countertop arcade unit, toolless, so no tools required, rotatable 9.7-inch iPad screen, full size lever and buttons on easily interchangeable control panel, top mounted stereo speakers, printable on Bamboo H2 series printers or larger for MiSTerFPGA setups, but adaptable to Raspberry Pi. And guys, this just looks really, really superb. It means if you haven't got a lot of space and you want an arcade machine, maybe I should get something like this, but a tiny little arcade for you to play, and it makes you feel like you're there. But it looks really, really good, looks interesting. If this is something you're interested in, maybe you want to check Todd Gill out over on X, just to keep an eye on the progress, and hopefully this will be available soon. MiSTer Organize, the folks that help you organize your MiSTer. If you have a massive collection and you want to sort them out and have them organized like the name suggests in a specific way. So here you go. So they have pushed out their February update on the 10th, and there's lots and lots of stuff there. Feel free to pause it, or even better, feel free to use the link in the description to get over there. So yeah, every month they put up an update where they add new stuff, they add new games, they add stuff like ROM hacks, things that you can play on the MiSTer. It's quite a comprehensive project. Maybe you guys want to check it out. Personally, it's not for me. I like the chaos that I like is my memory card, but hey, some people like this stuff organized, they like it grouped up. This might be for you, so check out Mr. Organize. This is that section of the video where we talk about unstable nightlies and test builds, and the last 7 days the Neo Geo has received one or the other, the PlayStation Core has received 2 updates, and the X68000 has also received an update. It's nice to see Analogue supporting the 3D, and they have now pushed 3DOS version 1.2.1. Just a few days ago, was it like a week ago, we got 1.2.0. Now there are some improvements with 1.2.1, but it's not a significant update in the way 1.2 was. So with this now, at least the biggest thing for me is you can now switch on your Analogue 3D or power it on by pressing the button on your 8-bit N64 controller, where previously you could do it with the NSO, the Nintendo Switch Online controller, but not what is pretty much regarded as the official Analogue 3D controller, the 8-bit one. So that works now, as well as that kind of like better pack recognition. So certain games, when you load them, they've listed the example of Perfect Dark. When you load Perfect Dark, it starts with a rumble pack instead of a memory pack. There are some other changes, do check those out for yourself. I will update mine on the weekend, but right now I'm shooting this video and telling you guys about it. As well as that, do you remember the limited editions? Well, guess what? All 5 colors are still in stock. Well, they were about 15 minutes ago when I checked on their website. So if you do want to get one, you still can. They are definitely there. Highly limited, I get it. They're not sold either. The scalpers aren't buying, people have wised up, or Analogue have lots and lots of stock, so they can kind of stick it to the Mod Retro M64 even before they come to market. If everyone has an Analogue 3D, they may not buy one. I just certainly hope that Analogue actually give us additional cores on the Analogue 3D to kind of better compete with the M64. Anyway, let's see what happens. But yeah, limited editions are out there. And Tamariel, who I best know for bringing lots of cores over to the Tank series of consoles, well, guess what? They are working on a 386 core. And over here, they are saying the TOB is done. Both hit and miss paths, including page table walks, are working. The first 386 protected mode test now passed. The fast path TOB hit adds 1 cycle to the memory axis, similar to the original design. Next up, segment switching and descriptor loading. And here we go. Let's have a look at some pictures here. Okay, moving on to a follow-up tweet or a next tweet. New post in my 80386 series. What the original microcode reveals about how the 386 handles, shifts, and rotates efficiently using its 64-bit barrel shifter. Again, if you're interested in this stuff, check the links in the description. The Zaparoo world, or should I say the Zaparoo universe, just keeps on expanding. So Anime Otaku here has built this Zaparoo custom launcher builder. So essentially what this does, if you check out this GitHub, you can now on your PC pick any emulator and pick any game, and you can launch that with a Zaparoo card. Now before it was a little, well, you could do it, it was a little bit more difficult, but now Anime Otaku has made a really nice GUI that you can use in order to get this up and running. So think about it, if you're a PC guy and let's say for example you like playing Sin and Punishment on the Nintendo 64 via RetroArch, that's the first thing that came into my head. You can set it up using the software that Anime Otaku has made. You tap it and bang, next thing you know, the emulator and the ROM of your choice has loaded. Guess what, guys? Remember the game Project Justice Rival Schools 2? So I used to have the Japanese version of my Dreamcast, and it was like a board game that you could access within the Japanese version. Now they removed it out of the Western releases, so the PAL one and the USA one, it was not there. And I always used to turn it on and everything was in Japanese and I had no idea how to play it. Well, guess what? Now it has been translated. The translate is available, or translation is available, sorry, I should say, and you can actually enjoy this game. So if you're into board games or you like to play some like funky Japanese stuff that was never available in the West before, well, the translation is available. Check it out. Big shout out to Boogerman, who actually dropped me a message saying, yo Pixel, have you seen this? And I've seen it now, but I have not had time to check it out. But let's translate this tweet from Sinhor Linguisia. Hopefully I got that name right. Celeste Classic was ported for the PlayStation 1. The game logic comes from Celeste MIT license, a line-by-line translation into C of the original Pico 8 Lua source code made by Maddie Thorson and Noel Berry. The platform layer rendering input audio was written from scratch for PS1 hardware, and again, looks interesting. Celeste is one of those games, it's freaking amazing, but man, it's difficult. But hey, if you want a precision jumpy jump platformer, well, Celeste is now available for the PlayStation 1. If you're a Sonic the Hedgehog fan or a die-hard Sega fan, you probably know about this already. So Sonic the Hedgehog Megamix Mania. Now, I don't know if I can call this a ROM hack. Is it a ROM hack or is it a mod? Well, you need Sonic Mania for Steam, and you can add these additional files. Now, I've not had a chance to patch this and play this yet. In fact, I don't actually own Sonic Mania on Steam. At least I don't think I do. I'll have to check my Steam library. I'm pretty sure I own it on Epic, and it doesn't work with the Epic version as far as I know. But this looks like a brand new game. It looks like Sega themselves made this update, but this is made by fans. Looks absolutely superb, and if you're a Sonic fan, you need to try this out. Honestly, is there any stopping this guy, Robert Dale Smith, the legend? Yes, guys, this is the guy that turned the Fisher-Price toy baby controller into a proper functioning controller. So over here, what's he saying? Because when he talks, we need to listen. Xbox 360 controller authentication has been cracked. This is a totally unmodified Xbox 360 console. All you need to try for yourself is a cheap Pi Pico W with the Joypad OS firmware. The Pi Pico is able to totally simulate a real 360 controller. And again, really cool. You can use, that looks like an Xbox One controller to me, or Xbox Series, and you're using that with an Xbox 360. The future is the past, and the past is the future. Absolutely awesome. Man, Asian girls seeking tender men. Girls, leave me alone, I am married. That is not what we are checking out. This is what we are checking out. Guys, this is amazing. This is a live stream I did yesterday because I have fun doing live streams. So this is Mario Kart Wii Deluxe, and it is absolutely fantastic. Over 700 tracks from every single Mario Kart game that you can ever think of. Look at this one. This is Nintendo 64 Luigi's Speedway, the first Grand Prix, the first track, and it is available to play in this. As well as that, it's got tracks from like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, every Mario Kart game. We're talking about the arcade ones, Mario Kart Tour, GameCube, SNES, you name it, GBA, all those tracks are there. Additional characters, additional power-ups. This is absolutely amazing. Go do a Google search for it, find it for yourself. It works on original hardware. There's a light version and there's an enhanced version that is better optimized for playing on emulators such as Dolphin, and that's what I'm playing this on now, Dolphin. Absolutely fantastic, guys. Really amazing. Pack it up, pack it in, let me begin. Actually, let me pack it up, pack it in, let's end. This is the last story in this video. So, bonkers. Super Mario 64 hack allows for online co-op play between Nintendo 64 and PlayStation 2. This is just absolutely bananas, guys. So there you've got someone playing co-op. I didn't even know you could play co-op. I remember there being a mod actually that was Mario Co-op, but I never checked it out. But co-op between a Nintendo 64 and the PlayStation 2, what the heck is the world coming to? So guys, that about wraps it up. I really do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then a subscription and a like is always super duper appreciated. Be freaking awesome to one another. This is Pixel Cherry Ninja out.